Hello, and welcome to the Mommy Escape Time podcast. I am Lauren, your host, and I have a 1-year-old son. I started this podcast for any mother who might feel alone in their journey through motherhood. Becoming a mom is hard no matter how you get there, and this podcast is about the mom stuff that comes up in our lives. Listen, enjoy, and connect with us on the Mommy Escape Time podcast. Hello, this is Lauren, and I will be the host today. And it's just me, and today our episode is all about talking about fall and fall things to do with kids. And I came up with this episode I wasn't planning on doing this episode, it kind of came out organically because I have been going to a few more stores. It's been raining around here, so I walk with my son in order to get out of the house a little bit when it's raining, because he's about 18 months old, so he needs some change of scenery and just some other different places to run around. And I was kind of shocked when I went out, because I would say starting even at the end of September, there were stores that had Christmas stuff up already, or you could buy Christmas stuff already. And it was a little shocking to me, because then I was like, oh, it must be October already. Like, not even thinking about what the calendar is. And I'm like, oh, it must be almost Halloween. Meanwhile, we had 5 weeks to go before even getting to Halloween. And again, I don't expect that when Halloween stuff comes down, that Christmas stuff automatically comes up. So it was kind of a shock to me to have everyone be rushing to the Christmas season, which, let me tell you, it's my favorite season of the whole year also. But I don't want it in September or October or even the first half of November. I really like to save it for, the end of November after Thanksgiving, and then obviously that time in between Christmas. So I want to make sure that we, do fall justice, and that we make sure that we enjoy fall, because if you live in the part of the country where I do, we get all 4 seasons, and we're very lucky. And near the end, or almost near the end of every season, you're like, I just can't want the next season to come. And it kind of works out that, it's spread out to the best it can be, that we get all these different types of seasons. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my favorite things about fall, and I'm going to talk about some of the fun fall things that we have done as a family. And there's a few things that we've wanted to do. We just didn't get to it, because you just can't do everything. And the thought that you can do everything is just not manageable enough. So some of my favorite things. So fall means to me apples, everything apple related. I know that the pumpkin spice thing is the big thing. I have no interest in anything pumpkin spice. I am an apple girl all the way. Everything should be apple. I buy apple cider all the time. I make apple crisp for us all the time. There is always some form of an apple in our house in fall. And I would say that apple cider is actually something in the area that a lot of places make, and they make it in season. So it's not like I can buy apple cider in August or even July. It's not available around where we are. And if it is, it's absolutely horrible that it doesn't even taste like apple cider. So it's not worth it. But being from New England, there are so many places that sell apple cider, and so many people that are like, oh, I like that apple cider better than that. And one of the more famous places around here is called Lyman Orchards, and their apple cider is supposed to be like the best. It's sold in, I think, the most amount of stores around here. And then our other one in Connecticut that's big is Rogers Orchard. So those two are the ones that most people go to. I don't really have a favorite. I just love apple cider. Anytime anyone offers me that with a cider donut, there's nothing better than that. Even though cider donuts are just sugar on donuts, but I love them anyways. They're so good. So that's one of the main things that I look forward to in the fall. I also look forward to hiking, because there's a lot of things with hiking that you can do. Now, still, hiking is a little nerve-wracking for me with my leg. If you don't know, I broke my leg. Most people are so sick of hearing about it. So hiking is, I can't do as difficult of climbs or hikes as I used to. And it's not about the steepness. It's not about me being steady on my feet. It's the amount of times that I have to look down and the amount of concentration I need when I can get up to the top, no problem. That is the easy part. It's the coming down part that's much harder for me. I can't take risks like I used to, and I really have to be careful. So some steeper climbs are harder for me not to go up, but to come down, which I think is true for pretty much everyone, not just specific to me. Um, but that has limited me a little bit on what I can and can't do hiking wise. I will post a picture. My husband and I did hike right at the end of September up in the Adirondacks, and it was just gorgeous and it's beautiful. And the whole point of hiking is to get to see, like, to get to some spectacular view. And I think people sometimes forget it. Like, people are just think like, oh, I just have to get to the top, or oh, is there going to be something up there like a shop or something? That I've never even heard of that before, but that's what someone said to me. They're like, oh, was there shopping up at the top when you went hiking? No, there's not. The whole point is to you do this great climb and then you sit up there and you just relax and you look at the view that you can't see obviously from the ground. You could see miles away and things like that. And that's what's so important to me. I love being able to see those crisp fall leaves, and all the different colors, and seeing how on the mountains, how certain areas might be more changed than others. We've been very lucky that the trees haven't lost too many of their leaves. We've had a lot of like windstorms in New England. And so some places have really lost their leaves, but we're lucky in our area that they haven't lost them. We also have a place where I guess we don't hike, we have to drive because it's at night. But there's a place at night that's for hiking that they let you drive every time there's a full moon, spring to fall. And we went to this last one in the fall, and it was great because you drive up this road that you normally hike, and you could see the full moon. And it's just like a really cool place. It's so dark because obviously they don't have lights up there at the top of this mountain because it's not meant to be out when it's dark out. And it was just so cool. There were so many people there, and it was just so great seeing everyone there, just looking at the moon, seeing the different views that we could see from the top that we never get to see because you can't do this at night, and it's only opened certain full moons between spring and fall, and obviously it's always weather dependent. So we had the best time doing that. That was by far like my favorite thing we've done all fall because it's something totally different, and it gives you such a different view of a hike that we've normally done. And we could just see so much further and see all the lights at night and see the full moon at night. And because it's so dark up there, when you can see more clearly the stars and everything because you're away from all those lights. So that made a big difference too. So that was by far one of my favorite things, and we did it all together. We brought my son and he loved it too, so it was just great. One of my other favorite things that we did is we go to different fall festivals, and in New England I guess that's a big thing. I don't know if it's a big thing anywhere else, but here it's a really big thing where anytime a town can, they will put on a fall festival, and it's normally includes one of those scary traveling carnival ride places, and food, and people selling things. I can't think of another word to say that, but like crafty things. So there was one that we went to that was like all about the food. There were so many food trucks and all this stuff, which is great. And it was nice. All these people were in the center of the town and enjoying themselves. And it was a lot of fun that's what brought them down. But there weren't as many crafts and things. And it was very, very crowded. It was very hard to get around. Which is great. That means a lot of people are doing it and everyone's busy and everyone loves it. So that's great. But we went to another one that was much smaller. It's in a smaller town that they use a lot for Lifetime and Hallmark Christmas movies. And we went there to their fall festival, and it was It was so nice. It was not crowded. You can easily park on a street there, and you just walk down, and the neighborhood is just a very nice place to walk down and see things. And they had craft areas. The whole festival was linked to a place that does. I don't know how to describe this place, but it's a they serve food for breakfast and lunch, and I think for dinner too. And they also sell seeds for to like grow things, and they're very knowledgeable about growing things like that. And it's just great. It's a organic food place, and so it's in their like parking lot area, and it's just so nice that they had llamas there. They had much smaller vendors, lots of crafts, lots of fall crafts. A lot of times when you go to crafts places, even this time of year, obviously it's all Christmas, and I'm always looking for fall things. We we don't decorate a lot for fall because we're finding it very hard to find fall things. Inside the house, we have like a few fall decorations, but I mean, we're pretty minimalist people for putting up things on the wall to begin with. So it's not like every season I change things. We change the biggest thing that we change are our soaps. We have different soaps for the Christmas, and sometimes spring we have a different soap, and our dish towels. Those we must have so many dish towels. We change them all the time. I feel like that's all we do is change our dish towels. We have so many of them. So, and we have like a bunch of bathrooms. So we're always changing that out. So that's like our big decorations. And outside for the fall, we have one pumpkin sign and one like jack-o'-lantern thing that we put out, and that's pretty much it. We don't really do a lot outside for any season, including Christmas. So, I mean, it's not like we try and do some flower stuff for the different seasons. We do put out different pots of flowers. I will say that. That's our biggest thing, though. So we're always on the hunt, though, to find things to put outside for our house for the fall. It's actually very hard to find. Like I can find things at like Home Goods and things like that, but that's not really what we're looking for. We're really looking for people who are making the crafts to put them outside. My mother-in-law is very talented, and she makes our wreaths for all of our seasons. So she did a fall wreath, and that's like the only thing that we have that someone's made for the fall that's outside. So we're really looking for that. So it's hard for us to find because even when we go to the fall festivals, they don't have fall stuff for us to buy. But we still love going. We really enjoy going and looking and talking to the different people, seeing what they have. We don't try as much food. I don't know if it's me being cheap or what, but it just seems sometimes so expensive. The smaller one we went to, it was actually very reasonable, but we just went at a weird time where getting food wouldn't make sense for us. So we don't normally get any of the food. We really try and save our calories, I guess, for things we know we're going to like as opposed to trying new things. And maybe in a few years when my son eats a little less and my whole budget for money isn't on his food, then maybe we could be a little more flexible. But right now, he seemed like if we got anything to sample or try, and if he liked it, he would just devour it. So it's just not worth it right now to always buy those things. So moving on, one of the other things that we do like to do that we didn't get to do this year is apple picking. We normally go every year to go apple picking. And we normally go, it's kind of hard because you think of apple picking of like it should be cooler out and stuff like that. But apple picking can start as early as August. And it's our son's at like this weird age where obviously he can walk, but he can't walk far distances. So one of us would have to wear him because you can't go apple picking with a stroller. If you've ever done that, it's like just not manageable. And it doesn't really make sense, especially in the places around here because you have to like drive to different areas to get to different apples. It's not always just in walking distance. So we'd have to wear him on the pack. So my husband would have to do that part because I don't feel confident yet with my walking that I could wear my son and walk and pick apples. I just, that just seems like a disaster. So my husband would have to do it. And then my husband would not have access to getting the taller apples because the way the backpack works, he can't reach as high as he normally would. It wouldn't put our son in a safe position. So we just decided this year not to do apple picking. And we decided next year, we might be able, he could walk more and we could help him so we could enjoy apple picking more with him. But always a great thing to do. There's even pear picking up here, and a lot of the places have they're called apple barrels or apple bars where they sell other foods that you can buy to bring home. Of course, apple cider is the big thing. Pies, cider donuts are all big around here. So all those things are options that we can do. Another thing we have done is the leaves. We've gone around, kind of driving around, looking at the leaves change and in different areas. We've been very lucky that the last couple of weeks we've really had to drive a lot. So we've gotten to see the trees progress. When we went up to the Adirondacks a few weeks ago, we were able to see the leaves progressively change as we would go up north, and then as we would come back down south to Connecticut, we could see the progression backwards, that less and less trees had changed. So this is the middle of October, and we're not even at the peak here in Connecticut, I would say. We probably have a week or two to go, and I don't know if all the leaves will last that long to show like a pretty picture of all the leaves up. So I'm not quite sure if we'll get that full view, but we'll be hopeful that we can. And then the last two, well, one of them we haven't experienced yet. It's Halloween. And I am not a Halloween person at all. I really don't care about Halloween. I don't care about dressing up. I don't care about being in a theme. I don't care about any of that. Even with my son, whatever he wants to do, I will do. And this year he is going to be a farmer, mostly because he walks around with watering cans all the time when we're outside playing. So I was like, you know what? He can be a farmer this year. So pretty simple costume of overalls, which I borrowed from someone else, a plaid button-down shirt. I did borrow a straw hat. I don't think he'll wear it for more than 1 second, so I'm not really concerned about that. And obviously watering cans. And that's pretty much his whole outfit. So it's nothing out of the ordinary. I didn't spend a dime for this outfit. It just did not seem to make sense for him, and it doesn't seem to make sense for us either. He is going to probably come to my school in the morning to show off his outfit. He'll go to daycare in his outfit, and they'll change him partway through the day, just so it doesn't get ruined. And then at nighttime, last year we brought him around when it was still light out around to the houses, to our neighbors' houses, which is probably what we will do again this time, because it will probably take both of us to take him out, because I don't know if we'll use the stroller, if we'll carry him. We'll have to decide. But that's kind of nice, because then as people are getting ready, we just stop by to see them, and it's not like we're asking for candy for our child. So we're just kind of, showing them him in his costume, and then we're home when all of them come by to come trick-or-treating. So I kind of like that idea that we still get to see everyone. I have no idea what we'll do when he's old enough to really walk around. I guess one of us will just have to stay home and miss out trick-or-treating with him. Or we'll have to get one of the mother-in-laws to come down to give out candy. So, and the last thing that I'm going to mention about having fun in the fall is at school we're doing this door decorating contest where, teachers can decide if they're going to decorate their doors or not for the fall season. Now, I have no artistic ability, but I have some students who are super, super artistic. So they are actually decorating the door for me because I don't have that ability in me. I do for winter, I do, but not for fall. I just have no plans, no ideas, no thoughts of what I can do. So I'm really leaning on my students, and I think they put in a request to me. They asked for like 6 or 7 things, and I went to the dollar store and I was able to get all of them. So that was good. So I was able to get all that stuff, and we've been working on decorating the door, and it's actually really kind of fun. Like I thought about that at home, like maybe trying to get the neighbors involved in that, like doing like a decorating contest for the seasons to try and like my next door neighbor. She is so good. I don't know where she gets some of this stuff, but she like really decorates, especially I think I notice the most in the fall because I have nothing out there, and she's out there for like hours and they're decorating. And one of my neighbors down the road, she does a great job really decorating their whole front yard. That's very Halloweeny. I don't know what it is. Maybe when my son's a little older, I'll have more time, so I'll have that ability. I just don't have that artistic gene in me though to do those types of things. So I'm not sure if I ever will get really good at that. But yeah, so those are some of the things that I really, really enjoy in fall. I'd love to hear how you guys enjoy fall because it is still fall. It is still fall till December 21st. So even in that Christmas season, it's still fall at that point. And I'm really trying to make it we don't put up our Christmas decorations until the day after Thanksgiving, including this year. The only difference that I do is that I do change that for change out our plates. We do have the Spode Christmas plates, and I do change those out. I want to say like halfway through November, and it's more so that everything is up in time because we try and have it done that weekend of Thanksgiving. We try and have all our Christmas decorations up, and I'll do another episode about what I do for that, I guess. And it just takes a lot of time because I do a major cleaning of our whole house, like picking up, throwing out, donating. Because everyone should do that at that time of year, because when it gets colder and stuff like that, definitely get rid of some stuff so that people who really need it can have it. And that's pretty much it. So I guess that wraps up my fall episode. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays, so I'm really excited for that. And I just love cooking and having the house like, you just have all the I have technically have 3 ovens in our house. It's really 2, and then I have like a I don't know what you call it. It's like a microwave oven. I don't really know how to describe it. I'm doing a horrible job of it. It's not this hard. So I normally have all 3 ovens going on Thanksgiving, and I love it. I just love all the different smells, and I love having the ovens just warm the house. Ugh, there's nothing better than that. So anyways, that will wrap up our fall episode. I will not have an episode the following week. It is Halloween that day. And I'm not going to, there are a few things that I have to get done before Halloween starts. So I will not be having an episode, but we will have an episode with another person. It won't just be me talking for 25 minutes. So my husband is going to make at least 1 or 2 appearances in the next couple of episodes. And Teresa should be back in the next couple of episodes, and we'll probably finish the year sometime in December. Earlier than Christmas will be my last episode of the year. So that's pretty much the schedule going on. And I know I said that we were going to move this show till Wednesdays, but so there's something with changing my release day that it's not working out right. So it's going to continue on to be on Thursdays, but I'm going to try and have it ready Thursdays in the morning also. So just so you guys know. All right, so that'll wrap up the fall episode for the 3rd time in a row that I've said that. And this is really the end this time. So I hope you have a good week, and I hope you enjoy your Halloween.